What's up, guys? Quick recap of my trades today. I went 3 for 5, probably made one too many trades. Definitely had some dumb ones, but was able to end the day green because of a kind of last minute trade before I went to the gym. I didn't trade the entire day. We were kind of chopping around. I did miss that wedge kind of breakout, but let's get into it. First trade of the day was at this supply zone right here. I was looking to go short. We had this set up yesterday and I didn't take it. So I was like, all right, I got to take this one. 382, massive level. What we're seeing right now is these psych levels are really dependable for support and resistance. So 382 is a massive level. I was looking to get in short, wanted my setup. I saw this large, red candle on SPY, and I was like, all right, this is where if I'm gonna short, I'm gonna short right here. So I honestly think I just got this one candle move because it was a 0 day, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna fight the trend. We're still above the EMAs, and this was probably one I should have held longer, to be honest. We were still above the EMA clouds, but I think I sold, yeah, right in between this candle. So you guys can see what I was looking at. We had this bearish engulfing candle, and then we were kind of chopping around, chopping around. I want to say I got in around 381.85, 381.9, and then I sold just at the bottom of this candle, 381.3. I was just looking for that quick um, one candle move. Usually that's what I'll do. I call getting my feet wet. Dip my feet in the water just to get into the right headspace of trading. I usually don't like going big on that first play. I like going small and just kind of taking a base hit to get my day going. Get myself logged into my account. You know, all that good stuff. So first trade of the day was a good one. Was able to get I think around 30% on that actually, but gave back some of that on a really stupid trade, and it was something that I had predetermined. I predetermined what I was going to do before even watching it, and pretty much when we broke through 380, I was like, all right, I'm waiting for that 380 retest. It was like 380.2 or something, and that's all I was waiting for. You guys can see we knifed right through. There was no reason for me to be taking this trade. I think I got in on this candle. We started to bounce. I was like, all right, let's see if we get something more here. And I was stopped out pretty much immediately. Sold for a quick 10% loss. And it was honestly like a 30-second trade because I got in, knife, boom. And I was like, all right. That was just one of those. It was unnecessary. There's no reason to take it. I didn't wait for confirmation. Yeah, it was a big support point, but who cares? Supports work until they don't. Resistance work until they don't. So took an L there, but I was able to rebound. I took one of the same trades that I did yesterday, and I want to say it's almost the same exact setup. You guys can see I took this EMA again, and you might be looking at this, be like, how in the world did you get a green trade off of this EMA setup right here? And I'll show you guys exactly how. Saw these EMAs, and we did have this resistance right here at 380. So I was thinking, all right, I'm going to take this retest on these EMAs and that 380 resistance. And I knew this was going to be a quick trade because we had this kind of looking like tweezer bottom kind of thing. It's a pretty bullish reversal setup. And I was pretty much thinking we're going to make a higher low right here. So this was a quick, in and out trade. And I sold with the fibs. So got in. You guys can see where I sold. I got in somewhere around 379.8 and just sold at the fibs at 379.4. Got around 15% on that. These are all 0 days too, by the way. I've started trading 0 days a lot more, not because of anything in particular. I just think it suits my trading style better. I've been noticing that I do a lot better when I'm just doing quick 1-2 candle moves. Um, I'm not the best at holding things. You don't have to be. I mean, on these 0 days, all you need is that 40-cent move, and boom, with the volatility that we have, that's all you need for 30%. So, once again, had a good trade there, but gave it right back with Apple. I'm not sure why I even took this trade. It wasn't a bad setup, actually, I'll be honest. Let me show you what SPY had at first. So SPY had this nice 3 minute, and it was looking like a bear flag. And looking back on it, I can see why it broke out. It was just at an angle. It was a little bit too, how do I say this? It was a little bit too north. Um, it had a nice hammer, another nice candle, and it was kind of looking like, I was kind of thinking to myself, this might just break out. It might just, because there's a big difference between a bear flag and an upwards channel, and this was an upwards channel that broke out north. So I mean, that's on all time frames. You see that common misconception. People see an uptrend and they want to draw a bear flag right away, and that's just not always the case. QQQ had quite the similar setup too. on this 3 minute. And to me, it was looking like a bear flag at the time. That's probably because I had a bias. And when I should have gotten out of this trade is when I noticed it wasn't making another low, and it looked like it was going to break out. So, anyways, I traded Apple while I was seeing all this. I had this Apple 3 minute, and this was just something that I should have cut right away once it went wrong. And you guys can see exactly what I was looking at here. I was looking at this bear flag, and honestly, if I was to have this set up again, I would take it. That's a nice bear flag heading up into resistance. Um, that's a trade I'll take, and not to mention the EMAs too. Um, I don't mind that trade. The only problem was I should have cut this when it broke out. When it breaks out, I need to be like, all right. But instead, I was like, you know what? It could reject off of this resistance that we had right here. You can see, um, reject right here, act as support, breakthrough. Then we broke out of that. And I was like, all right, well, maybe we're rejecting off this because SPY, while this was happening, SPY was still in that bear flag. So I was still thinking, okay, SPY is still going to break down, right? Apple's just doing some weird stuff and then it'll break down and we'll have that next leg down. That, of course, didn't happen. I think I sold on this candle around 132. So that's just something that I should be selling this. This wick actually gave me an opportunity, but I should be selling this at 131.6, and that should be a 10% loss instead of a 25% loss, just because I was being stubborn and I broke my rules, and that's usually actually not something that I do. I'm very quick to sell if I see something that I don't like, I'll sell that right away. I have no problem with that, but it was one of those rare instances where it was such a good setup, a bear flag heading into resistance with the EMAs. I was like, I can't sell this. This is too good of a setup. This has to work. And the truth is, it doesn't have to work. There's no saying that. But was able to end the day green thanks to a SPY trade, and I was looking forward to this. After that bear flag broke north, I was like, all right, we're gonna form a lower high. Whenever I see a higher low, I'm expecting a lower high every single time. And the rare instance that we don't, usually it's pretty noticeable that it's not going to happen. But something like this, I'm expecting a lower high. So I was going to wait for the fibs at first, and the fibs weren't there. And I can tell you why. Some days it's really odd to explain, but some days fibs don't work, and other days they do. You can see we broke down below the fibs and then broke out. Today was just one of those days where fibs, of course, they're bouncing off fibs right now, but I fibs weren't working. So what I actually did is I had this trend line drawn, and I was talking about this in my Discord, and it's a really interesting theory. I had a 21 degree. So I had a. Actually, you know what? I think I had this. Yep. All right. So I had this 3 minute trend line drawn. I do this a lot. I'll draw that trend line on the 3 minute so I know where that trend line is. Because right here, when you have this 5 minute, can't really tell because you have all these wicks up here. So I got in right at that trend line, and I pretty much just rode this down to support. Took a 0 to, I think I got like 45% on that because I entered like right at 381, another big psych level. Those are usually pretty consistent. And I sold right at the end of this candle. Once we were closed at support, I was like, all right, that's good. I took that from 381 to 380 for a nice 45% gain. So 3 for 5 on the day. Let's see. Yeah, 3 for 4 on SPY. Wait. Yeah, 3 for 4 on. Yeah, 3 for 4 on SPY, 0 for 1 on Apple. Wasn't a bad day. With this volatility, I think I should have done better. Looking back, I'm seeing all these big moves. It's definitely a day that I probably, could have taken less trades and capitalized on some of the great opportunities that we had. But for me, there just wasn't many setups with this little hump that we had. Um, but green is green, so I'll take it. Um, I like this price action so far that we've had this week, so I'm looking forward to what we have in store to finish it off. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.